bottom of the pack defense. On their side of the ball for the Raiders, they're going to be missing Hunter Renfrow today, which obviously
He's become a big part.
True, it's bad for Renfrow, but that might ultimately end up giving Darren Waller more targets. So if you're someone who's been playing Darren Waller all year, you might experience a little uptick in production today, especially since you would expect the Raiders playing catch-up in a game against these Kansas City Chiefs.
Hey, going back to the Ravens-49ers game, I just wanted to go ahead and put this out. This just came out from Chris Mortensen a couple minutes ago, and he said apparently even inside the dry conditioned stadium, it is for practice. Apparently receivers were dropping passes all over the place, and with the conditions today in Baltimore, might be a factor. Just putting that out there.
All right, guys. So no, you're good. We have a over/under of 49.5. This is one of the higher projected games of the day. Chiefs started off only favored by 9, currently favored by 11, guys. I'm not sure if that has to do with Hunter Renfrow and Trent Brown, but I do like the Chiefs a lot. I think Tyreek Hill is someone that you should be playing with confidence despite leaving the game early last week. Tyreek Hill's going to have to Yes, Travis Kelce, your boy D, should have a fantastic game as well. Obviously,
all the Hill.
At this point in the season, you should know better than to put any of your eggs in the Sammy Watkins basket. I mean, McCole Hardman only apparently needs 10 snaps to get you a touchdown every time, but you're also not trusting him. So, obviously, your LaShawn McCoys, your Pat Mahomes, Kelce, and Hills, those are your best bets today for the Chiefs, as they have always been. But then on the Raiders side of the ball, like I said, I love Darren Waller today without Hunter Renfrow. Tyrell Williams should be just fine because the Chiefs aren't anything too formidable on defense. How do we feel about Josh Jacobs today, guys?
Use him. Use him.
He's a plug and play. You never take him.
But not even that. Not even that. The Chiefs' defense is horrible against the run. I mean that. Control the clock. Raiders win it.
The running backs every week.
What I just said, though, is going to seem funny once I give my score prediction, but I'll give a reason for it.
I think Raiders control the clock. I think they win. I think they win 28-27.
You heard it here first.
Okay, well, I got the Chiefs winning this one 42-13. I think they need to win this game. They need to come out and dominate a division opponent. They have been up and down this season. They need to play with some fervor, some testicular fortitude, if you will, on both sides of the ball and really give a showing. Because right now, they're on the playoff bubble. I mean, right now with the way they've been playing and their record, they're not even a lock to win this division, let alone make the playoffs. And so I think Andy Reid and Spags get their guys motivated and they come out and just smash the Raiders. But the reason I said you still got to play Josh Jacobs is because we saw it on several weeks, even like the Packers week especially. They will give him the rock and go on an 8.5-minute drive where he gains 70 of the 85 yards on the ground, even when they're down by multiple scores, and just eat up the clock helping the other team. So they can lose, not score a lot of points, and still be, for whatever reason, they feat. Because I don't think and let's be real, Gruden benched Derek Carr. So, and Derek Carr, I'm sorry, like, Derek Carr is one of those guys that reminds me of a 15-year-old teenage girl. If everything's going well, boy, they can strut their shit. But the minute some other girl calls them fat, they're at home eating ice cream and crying to their mom. And that's how Derek Carr is. He is emotionally frail when you don't, like, pump him up and have his back. And so I don't think this is going to be another one of those, a good game from them offensively. I don't think they're going to get it done.
All right, guys. Moving into the final 4 o'clock game of the weekend, we have an interesting one here. A battle in the AFC West when the LA Chargers travel to Denver to take on Drew Lock and these Denver Broncos. Currently, the Chargers are 3.5-point favorites, and over-under, the lowest of the entire slate this weekend, 37.5 points, guys. I would imagine that has a lot to do with Drew Lock stepping in. I would imagine that has a lot to do with the possibility of Tyrod Taylor stepping in for Phillip Rivers today.
Yep. Give me the opposite. Denver, I know Chargers just activated both their safeties, but Drew Lock, no one has any tape on him. He hasn't played all season. Brandon Allen got his first W when his first start, and just saying, a lot of backup QBs have come in and had success this season. And the Chargers defense, yeah, they had one good game against the freaking Packers, but other than that, there's not been much hope.
That's a point, Dave, that I can't stress enough, especially if you're someone who is going to legitimately put money on this game. Don't go into this game thinking just because you have a backup quarterback stepping in, Chargers are going to win. We've seen all season long, whether it's Kyle Allen, Gardner Minshew, I mean, keep going down the list. These guys getting their first crack at quarterback seem to at least win the first game they start.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's and plus you got Noah Fant, you got Cortland Sutton. I mean, you got these weapons still there.
Freeman and Lindsey.
Well, I mean, that's what I was going to say. You still got Lindsey as your horse, Freeman as your rotational. So it doesn't see any reason why Denver shouldn't win this game, especially because they're already talking about possibly benching for Tyrod. No, give me Denver, 21-13.
I will also take Denver 26-23 in this one. I'm not going to get too much into it because Dave covered it pretty well, and we only got about 9 minutes left, and we got to take our final break still, too, and close out the show. So I'll leave it at that.
Personally, I like the Chargers. I think Rivers fights for his job today. I think Elway is going to be on one of the hottest seats of all GMs after the season with Joe Flacco not panning out. The number of risks he's taken at quarterback that haven't panned out. But, yeah, I like the Chargers today a lot. Give me Austin Eckler. Give me Keenan Allen, even against Chris Harris, and I'll take it.
Hey,
Dillon's the lone wolf on that one.
Ooh.
Go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, moving into our next game, New England and Houston. Dillon, you want some news on that?
Yeah, give me some news before we head to break.
Apparently, the Patriots flew 2 planes to Houston, one for the healthy players and one for the sick players. Apparently, they have 9 players questionable because of illness. Don't be surprised if you see the Texans upset the Patriots today because apparently there's a bug going around on the New England facility, and they're going to Houston. So you're adding jet lag to illness. Oof.
I will take the Texans 21-20. They're at home, and the Patriots are sick, and that offense has not shown that you can count on it if the defense is not going
Watson's playing a really high level.
Not going to do the supposedly historical great things they supposedly can do, which I think are completely overrated. But, yeah, I think Watson actually finishes the job he started last year in that big game where he lost this matchup and pulls it off 21-20. Not a high-scoring game, but a good game nonetheless.
Texans 30-21. 9-point spread. I'm giving it to Houston. The illness, the jet lag. I mean, you're going to have players that are going to be dinged up from this. And
the Patriots are favored by 9.5.
Yeah, and I'm
ridiculous.
Well, you know what? Screw it. 31-21. I'm going to give Houston the point spread too.
Right now, according to PreGame.com, I have them at 3 points with a 46.5 over/under. But
31-21 Houston.
I still like the Patriots. I like Bill Belichick to defeat his disciple and Bill O'Brien. We've talked about Bill O'Brien before. And for the Texans on the offensive side of the ball, one name that I do love, because although Amari Cooper was shut down last week, Michael Gallup and Randall Cobb each had a great day. So I love Will Fuller tonight.
What about D-Hop?
No, he's not going to touch the ball once.
D-Hop will be...
I'm asking the fantasy professional.
I'm going to say he's going to be outside of the top 10.
Center.
Ouch. All right. Is that all the games, or do we got one more?
Yeah,
We have
one
the
more
Monday night game.
matchup, baby.
All right, let's get the Monday night.
All right, let's go into Monday night when you have the Seattle Seahawks playing host to your division
Good
rival,
game.
Minnesota Vikings. Skull, baby. Kirk Cousins and the boys.
Calm the hell down.
Going into Seattle. Seattle currently favored by 3 points, but I love this matchup. Oh, boy, do I love this matchup. I can't wait. I do think the Seahawks are going to blow it somehow, some way. Kirk Cousins, although not sexy, has been spectacular this season against pressure. Versus the blitz, he currently has a touchdown-interception ratio of 18-1. No one has been better against the blitz. You got Adam Thielen coming back, so that's great as well. Stephon Diggs has been spotty, but excellent here and there. Kyle Rudolph, surprisingly, has 4 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, so he's someone that you can roll out there as well. Obviously, this offense is centered around Dalvin Cook. The Seahawks are middle of the road to average at best in most defensive categories. Give me the Vikings in this matchup.
I have a injury update on Dillon. They said that they're leaning towards probably sitting him because he doesn't want to play till he's 100%. So it looks like they will be out with their Thielen wide receiver, without one of their better wide receivers for this game. Yes,
or is it
Rudolph,
that he just doesn't want to go out there and get his reputation ruined by the quarterback not throwing him the ball enough?
No, it's not that at all. It's the fact that he's had a hamstring injury and he's trying to recoup. He re-aggravated it a couple weeks ago when he tried to come back in and didn't work. He's playing smart. But either way, huh?
I will be curious to see who the Seahawks, because I'm not sure if they usually use Shaquille Griffin to shadow, but I will be interested to see if they do decide to shadow either Diggs or Thielen.
Thielen ain't playing, dude.
It's Monday night, so we'll see.
No, he just came out on Twitter this morning and said, unless my hamstring makes a miraculous recovery, I'll play. But other than that, I'm not going to play.
Seahawks win this one 32-20. The sky falls back. They come back to earth off of their sky-high little trip here that, trying to convince everybody in the tape that Kirk Cousins has miraculously turned this corner that he hasn't turned. It's just the fact that they haven't had to lean on him in those moments where he usually fails. They've taken the reins out of his hands in those situations. The rest of it is all great, but there's a reason why they've been winning is because they're not expecting him to come up big. When they have, he still loses. He still screws up. So, yeah, it's like you can give me the stats and tell me that this part of the game and that part of the game. The film in those situations I always talk about has not changed with Kirk Cousins. The only difference is now the film doesn't show you him in those moments because they're taking the ball out of his hands and putting it in other people. Mainly the run game and Dalvin Cook, and it's working.
And his record in primetime is certainly not great.
Also, too, I have to add on this for the Vikings injury report. Looks like 2 game time decisions are going to come down to it, and they're true 50-50. It's Linval Joseph and Steffen, both interior defensive linemen that cause havoc for the Vikings. If one of those guys sit, that could be trouble because Chris Carson could eat that middle.
One last fantasy scenario I wanted to bring up, guys, because it did pertain to me specifically, so obviously I'm a little selfish, but maybe to other people as well. If you had to start one quarterback this week between Kirk Cousins against the Seahawks or at the aforementioned Jared Goff at Arizona.
Oh, Cousins is going to have the numbers. He always does. Even his losing efforts,
I'm going to go Cousins.
So in this matchup, like, your confidence in Goff is so beyond gone that even in this cushy matchup, you can't picture playing him?
No.
Okay.
He's been that bad.
Again, Dillon, when I'm trying to answer these questions, I'm coming from the philosophy of where we are in our fantasy season and how much these matchups really mean for a lot of people. Like Dave and I's situation, the loser gets knocked out of the playoffs. You can't be dicking around in this matchup with, this guy. You have got to play the people you feel most confident at. And that way, if you lose, at least you're not losing and kicking yourself in the ass going, yeah, I should have known better than to take a chance on damn Jared Goff and when he shit the bed every, you know what I mean? Like, those are the chances where you get pissed at